Court proceedings have recently exposed sides of Prince Harry that few ever saw before, and sources suggest Meghan Markle is grappling with revelations that challenge everything she believed about her husband. For years, the narrative presented to the public was simple. Harry was the gentle, sensitive prince, trapped in the royal system, manipulated by an ambitious wife, and isolated from his family. The world was led to believe he was the victim, that he had been coerced, controlled, and ultimately driven out of the royal family. But according to newly released legal records and insider accounts, the reality behind closed doors tells a very different story. Staff members who have spoken about the proceedings paint Harry as a man prone to intense outbursts. These aren't occasional frustrations. Sources describe him as someone who can erupt suddenly, leaving those around him anxious and uncertain about what will happen next. One insider described it in stark terms. Harry can explode without warning, and when he does, it leaves lasting tension and fear. Observers note that this behavior is consistent, not situational, suggesting it is part of a larger pattern rather than isolated incidents. Courtroom interactions appeared to have confirmed this, with the judge reportedly needing to reprimand the prince for his conduct during testimony. At one point, a legal advisor allegedly had to intervene directly, instructing him to calm down and maintain decorum, an extraordinary step for someone in his position. These revelations reportedly left Meghan unsettled. The image she had cultivated of Harry as a sensitive, measured partner was suddenly challenged. The prince, whom she believed had been guided and shaped by her influence, apparently has a side that is more volatile, and in some ways reminiscent of the very family dynamics he publicly criticized. While Harry's public persona often emphasizes emotional intelligence, therapy, and awareness of personal growth, the court documents suggest a man who struggles to manage his impulses when confronted with frustration or perceived opposition. Adding further complexity to the narrative are details surrounding Harry's past relationships. Chelsea Davy, an ex-girlfriend whose history with the prince has long been known in royal circles, became a focal point during legal discussions. Harry's team reportedly sought her perspective to corroborate claims about media intrusion, but the documents reveal a deeper story. According to sources, Chelsea's relationship with Harry ended not because of royal pressures, but because of behaviors she found intolerable. Observers note striking parallels between Chelsea's experiences and Meghan's current circumstances, suggesting a recurring pattern in Harry's personal relationships. Partners seeking independence and pursuing their own goals may find themselves at odds with the prince's expectations. For Meghan, the revelations have reportedly been jarring. Publicly, she has spoken about happiness, family unity, and domestic contentment, portraying a picture of a harmonious life far removed from the scrutiny of the palace. Yet insiders say the private reality has diverged sharply from the narrative presented in interviews and media appearances. Behind the Montecito walls, the dynamics of the relationship appear far more complex, with tensions rooted in control, expectation, and personality clashes. Much has been made in the media about Meghan's influence on Harry. Former staff members have consistently described her as orchestrating much of their public image, controlling gestures, outfits, and public appearances with precision. From coordinated clothing choices to choreographed displays of affection, it is said that the Sussexes' public life was carefully curated under her guidance. Harry appeared compliant, supporting these choices and projecting unity with his wife. Yet the court proceedings suggest a shift is underway. Sources now indicate that Harry has begun asserting himself more, both publicly and privately. Reports describe him taking a more active role in appearances, business decisions, and strategic planning, signaling a transition from the partner who followed Meghan's lead to one who is reclaiming control. Observers note that this financial realities may have played a significant role. Several of Meghan's ventures, including her lifestyle brand, streaming projects, and other business efforts, reportedly underperformed, failing to attract major investors or generate sustainable revenue. Meanwhile, Harry's financial resources, inherited royalty, publishing deals, and brand leverage remain significant. This imbalance may be reshaping the dynamic between the two, with Harry's influence expanding as Meghan's leverage diminishes. The court documents also provide insight into Harry's behavioral patterns and expectations in relationships. Reports suggest that in previous partnerships, including with Chelsea Davy, Harry allegedly struggled to tolerate partners pursuing independent lives. Sources indicate he expected those close to him to prioritize his needs, maintain alignment with his plans, and accommodate his moods. Chelsea reportedly chose to leave rather than submit to these expectations, a decision that underscores recurring themes in his relationships. For Meghan, observers suggest, the parallels are difficult to ignore. The very traits she believed she managed or controlled may now be emerging more clearly as Harry asserts his independence. This evolving power dynamic has implications for both the couple's public image and private life. Sources familiar with the household indicate that Meghan's prior ability to direct appearances, public messaging, and business strategy may now be limited. Harry's increasing involvement reflects a shift in control, with him reportedly more willing to challenge, redirect, and make decisions independently of his wife's previously dominant guidance. Observers note that this transition may create tension as patterns of reliance, expectation, and influence collide. The court documents also highlight a contrast between public perception and private reality. Harry, long portrayed as a victim and advocate for emotional openness, may in private embody traits at odds with this image: volatility, rigidity in expectations, and a low tolerance for challenges to his authority. Courtroom accounts depict him disregarding prepared legal guidance, offering unsolicited commentary, and testing the patience of those around him. One insider likened his courtroom behavior to self-sabotage, undermining strategies designed to protect his reputation. These accounts suggest that the prince's temperament and approach to high-pressure situations may diverge sharply from the narrative presented in public statements and media appearances. For Meghan, the revelations are equally complex. While she has been seen as the architect of their public image and professional ventures, insiders suggest that her influence may be contingent on Harry's consent and engagement. The shift in household dynamics, coupled with underperforming business initiatives, appears to have weakened her leverage. Sources indicate that Harry is increasingly driving decisions that impact both their personal and professional lives, including appearances, business strategies, and public messaging. This recalibration may require Meghan to reassess assumptions about her role, authority, and the future trajectory of their shared ventures. Observers note that the evolving dynamic also resonates with patterns seen in Harry's past relationships. Chelsea Davy's departure, reportedly motivated by a clash of expectations and autonomy, serves as a cautionary parallel. Meghan's current position, while materially different due to financial and family considerations, echoes elements of the challenges Chelsea faced: negotiating independence, managing a partner's volatility, and responding to a shifting balance of power. Sources suggest that awareness of these parallels may be influencing Meghan's perception of her own circumstances and prompting strategic recalibrations. Further insights emerge from accounts of staff members and insiders who have worked closely with the Sussexes. They describe Harry as a man whose behavior can shift rapidly, with frustration or unmet expectations triggering intense reactions. Observers report that this volatility has been consistent across different contexts and over many years, suggesting deep-seated patterns rather than isolated incidents. For those in close proximity, including household staff, the unpredictability has created a culture of careful navigation and cautious engagement. The court proceedings have amplified these realities, providing formal documentation of behavioral tendencies and situational responses. Legal observers note that such patterns, when publicly documented, carry implications for personal reputation, credibility, and relational dynamics. For Meghan, the documents appeared to have provided a clear lens through which to evaluate both past experiences and future prospects. Sources suggest she is absorbing the contrast between the public persona of her husband and the private realities now disclosed in official records. Financial factors further contextualize the shifting dynamic. Meghan's previously highlighted ventures, which she envisioned as engines of influence and independence, reportedly failed to generate anticipated returns or attract substantial backing. Meanwhile, Harry's resources, both inherited and earned, continue to underpin their lifestyle and public presence. Observers note that this financial asymmetry may recalibrate the balance of influence within the household, with Harry increasingly positioned as a decision-maker and central figure in strategic considerations. The court revelations also highlight a broader theme: the distinction between image and reality. Public personas, carefully managed